Howdy exiles, today, we are going to be trying a 0 to hero style video. I have been wanting to try a hardcore solo self-found titan and it is looking pretty good right now. With Herald of Ice and Polsarcone Ring, endgame clear is looking pretty good. We have lots of area of effect nodes in tree, which synergizes well with hulking form. For bossing we will make use of weapon swapping to get the most out of Hammer of the Gods, but that will be later. For leveling we will start with Mace Strike and Shield Charge. Shield Charge is good for movement and stun, and Mace Strike has good attack speed and damage. We will be starting towards the end of Act 1 because the beginning is boring, not because I messed up the footage. Here is a look at our gear so far. Our Mace Strike will be linked with concentrated effect for damage and Cold Infusion to proc our Ice Herald. The damage is decent and when we freeze we do pretty good AoE. You will see this build consists of lots and lots of bonking. In skill tree we are taking more melee damage, some armor and block chance. We will be linking our shield charge to stomping ground for more AoE. For utility, we have Frostbomb which gives us extra freeze and damage on bosses. Infernal Cry is for extra damage. When we stun the boss with our Bone Shatter, we hit pretty hard with our bonks. After a freeze bonk, Candlemass is down. We pick up a decent chest with strength, life, and more armor. Now on to Count Geonor. Our boss fights are pretty simple. We bonk until we can stun them and then we bonk some more. In between we use Infernal Cry and throw down Frostbomb. Lots more bonking. And some epic dodging. And with that Geonor goes down and we are on to Act 2. We pick up a pretty good helmet as well. Going into Act 2 we place Cold Infusion in our Bone Shatter for Herald procs when we stun white mobs, which makes for decent clear. We also put Martial Tempo in our Mace Strike for more attack speed and DPS on bosses. Our damage needs some work but we will get there. As you can see, this build is very interactive. A quick ring upgrade with life and strength. We are going for Giant's Blood pretty early so we can wield a two-handed mace and a shield, so strength will be pretty important on our gear. Also we forgot to equip Power Drip, let's do that now. Much better. Onto Balbala to unlock Sanctum, but we are going to have to do it later. It is too risky to try now in hardcore. We pick up a decent amulet from her with a whopping 20 to strength. We also slot Magnified Effect into our Herald of Ice for more AoE. The explosions are already getting pretty big. Bossing is pretty easy so far as we do decent damage and we have enough HP to tank hits if we fail to dodge. See you later, Jamanra. Or I guess you'll just stay here. We have unlocked Leap Slam now, which is good for movement and very good for stun. We can jump on mobs to prime them for stun so we can Bone Shatter them. We take down Kabala for our 2 extra skill points. We can finally run Giant's Blood to wield a two-handed mace with our shield. We use a pretty decent mace we picked up earlier. Our attack speed is a little slower, but it is worth it for the damage. Also it looks sick, I mean look at how cool this is. We pick up our first Exalt, we'll be saving it for a better weapon later. Now that we have a pretty good weapon, I feel confident enough to try Sanctum. First room is a gauntlet, which we run through pretty easily. We will be trying to path away from bad afflictions and towards easy room types. Unfortunately, less sacred water fountain is our best option, but we at least get a chalice and escape room. Temporal bubble sucks as melee. Nonetheless, we run through these two rooms pretty easily. I didn't really play POE1, but I quite like Sanctum in this game. I know some people think it is too hard, but I like that it is a challenge that requires good gear and some skill to unlock your ascendancy. Our next two rooms will be Ritual and Hourglass. Ritual is very easy and pretty quick as the maps are usually small. We restore some honor. Hourglass can get a little dicey, but we are tanky so we're fine. More honor and on to another chalice. We get pretty lucky with the merchant and get less monster life and more honor right before boss, and he goes down easy. Finally, our ascendancy, let's go. We will be going Titan as it synergizes well with the Herald setup we will be running later. For now we take more max life since we're on hardcore. Dack to stunning and bonking bosses works for now, but we will need more damage soon. Fighting these two gets a little dicey and it is hard for us to hit them, so we decide to come back later. We'll go to Valley of the Titans instead. But first we pick up better boots and gauntlets from vendor in town for more life and big resists on gloves. We also place in relics for charm charges gained, not the most useful, but it's free so whatever. Thanks GGG, that essence could have been nice. Our first attempt on Zalmarath, we get hit by this attack that I didn't know how to dodge, lol. We run out of flasks and decide to reset and try again, but first we find a pretty big mace upgrade from vendor. We take a little more strength in our tree to run it, and wow, it's a pretty big DPS increase. Now that we know how to dodge that attack, the fight is easy but pretty long. This is sped up 25 times. He eventually goes down and we go back for a rematch on Ekbab and Iktab. Now that we do more damage, it is easy to stun them and we can kill these two easily. We also leave the witch alive for a bit as her attacks get even stronger after you kill her. One more stun on the steed and he dies too. We collect our last 2 skill points in Act 2 and take even more melee damage. The birds are optional, but screw it, since they can be pretty dangerous, we fight them one at a time. We get a level up and can take this note for 40% increased melee damage at the cost of some attack speed, another huge DPS increase. We also grab a better shield from vendor, throw lightning resist rune on our boots, and grab a better belt.
It suits you.
We get even more lightning resist from the sisters and onto our last boss before Jamanra. Just like the Colossus from earlier, we cannot stun him, so fight is slow and painful. I'll save y'all the trouble. We try armor break for more boss damage, but it ends up being pretty bad. One problem we have been having is it seems like our attack miss sometimes. I had thought this was just Mace being shitty, but it turns out it is an accuracy problem. Luckily for us, there is an easy fix. For just 3 skill points, we can get Resolute Technique, which makes our attacks never miss, the trade-off being we cannot crit. Mace has an abysmal 5% crit chance with little crit nodes in warrior side of tree, so we were not going crit anyway. We can instantly see the difference. On to Jamanra. At this point in the game, we are very tanky and bosses are not much of a threat, but our damage is still lacking. Jamanra still goes down and we are finally in Act 3. Before Act 3, we pick up a nice pair of boots with move speed, life, and cold resist, and we respec into a little more intelligence so we can run them. We grab the venom and get some nailment threshold. We also try our luck slamming a mace we bought from vendor with big flat physical roll. Holy shit, it's huge. Well, need to respect and take a lot more strength to use it since we have giant's blood. Oh crap. Guess the weapon will just have to look pretty till we get more strength. We find a nice prismatic ring. Very nice this early. The slam suck, but it's still an upgrade. Our boss damage sucks, so we are going to try perfect strike linked with fire infusion and window of opportunity for more damage and ignite. We hold the button to wind up, and if we release at the right time it does huge fire damage. We also level it up to level 9. Let's give it a try. The damage is surprisingly good, and even better if we use Infernal Cry first. We give it a third socket with a jeweler's orb I found earlier and place an eternal flame for longer ignites. We also take overwhelming presence for easier stuns and even better ignites. I also made the switch into Herald of Ash as our Ice Herald was not doing much by this point. The AoE from Herald of Ash is actually pretty good, and we stun much more thanks to overwhelming presence. We easily kill the Chimera and get our first inscribed Ultimatum. We got super lucky and slammed lightning damage and level of melee skills on our new weapon. Let's go back and kill the monkey we skipped for 2 more passive points so we can get more strength. Luckily we can tank his big slam attack, which we have seen kill many hardcore characters, so he goes down pretty easily. Also check out that ignite damage. We respect some block chance and take more strength so we can run the weapon. This should be a huge damage increase. It definitely is, but we will need a boss to test. Let's do Ultimatum. This should be pretty easy. This one got a little close, but our strategy of shield charging in circles worked fine. Our perfect strike damage is pretty crazy. Look at his health get chunked. And we get our 3rd and 4th ascendancy points, which we take more armor with. The rest of Act 3 should be a breeze now. Let's montage it. Real quick, we take Stampede with momentum for more damage, and Armor Explosion and Devastate for big AoE. Now back to montage. And just like that, we are into cruelty while still in hardcore. I will be working on a part 2 if this video does well. In the meantime, let me know down below if you like the pacing or if there is anything I should do differently. Thanks for watching and happy grinding, Exiles.